paths between lions and men.
You may just be my new best friend.
Very old friends.
I wouldn't say friends.
Welcome to your Westworld Mandatory Update. I'm your host, Justin Thomas, and this is our new segment where I give you guys the Westworld host treatment. But instead of using a tablet to give you guys mandatory system updates, I keep you updated with quick videos containing the latest news of HBO's Westworld. In today's updates, I'll go over the Season 2 timeline details we've just recently learned of, as well as some hints that showrunners Nolan and Joy have dropped about the themes of Season 2, and the confirmation of 4 fan faves coming back, both human and host. And last but not least, we'll be giving a behind-the-scenes look with Westworld's director of photography, Robert McLachlan, as he compares the series to another one of HBO's juggernauts that he's just recently finished up shooting on, Game of Thrones, Season 7. So first off, we have to discuss the time jump. If you haven't heard, Westworld isn't going to start off right where Season 1 ended. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, Jonah Nolan and Lisa Joy very cryptically revealed the show will not be taking place immediately after Dolores killed Robert Ford. Instead, it looks like we're headed for a time jump. The series will pick up sometime after the human slaughter that we begin to see in the season finale of Season 1. Of course, flashbacks of the human slaughter will work perfectly with some of Nolan's trademark nonlinear storytelling. Showrunners Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy also let slip to Entertainment Weekly that we can expect much more detail about how the hosts work during the second season, including how they're powered. They've been quoted saying the construction in their power source is something that we're really going to get into in Season 2. Nolan said, "So we'd like to keep it mysterious. They're closer to biological than they are to mechanical, but they don't suffer brain death in the same way we do. Since their brains don't require oxygen, this opens up a lot of interesting possibilities. Their brains aren't as fragile as ours. On one hand, their cognition is controllable and malleable, but on a structural level, they can be killed in the same way you or I can. There are advantages and disadvantages to being a host." Season 2 will be exploring much more of the nuts and bolts of what the hosts are, and also the hosts themselves will be exploring the same aspect. I personally look forward to this, not only because it'll be interesting to see the makeup of the hosts and what their strengths and weaknesses are, but we'll add some stakes to the battle between human and host. So moving on to a more human note, we do have some information on the fate of 2 of the fandom's favorite characters. I'm of course speaking of Shannon Woodward's Elsie Hughes and Luke Hemsworth's Ashley Stubbs. So you worried fans out there should be able to relax a little bit and take some solace in the fact that on DelosIncorporated.com, there have been multiple Easter eggs even since the end of Season 1. Especially for Elsie's, 2 of these Easter eggs include a GPS signal and an actual soundbite that fans decoded through the interactive website. As for Stubbs, when the Huffington Post's Bill Bradley asked if Stubbs was going to be okay, Hemsworth replied, "Physically, he's well. He's doing alright, just taking a sabbatical." Hopefully that eases the anxiety of some of you worried fans, and you'll most definitely have your snarky Elsie and your nothing but business Stubbs returning for Season 2. As for the 2 hosts that will be returning, a fan favorite and definitely a personal favorite of mine, yes, we're talking about Louis Herthum. Daddy is back. Herthum, who was introduced in Season 1, Episode 1 actually, will be continuing his role as Peter Abernathy, the father of Dolores, and I couldn't be happier. Also another fan favorite, Tallulah Riley, who played Angela in Season 1, will be returning as well. Moving on to our last segment, we have an article with Westworld's DP, Robert McLachlan, and he compares the series with Game of Thrones, which he also shoots on. Just finished Season 7, actually. And Robert actually states that Westworld is definitely a harder shoot. He is a Emmy-nominated cinematographer. Robert just wrapped up Game of Thrones before Christmas and states the season's going to be fantastic. He did show-stopping work, pretty epic scenes in Europe, and just before he left he says, "It's going to be great. Other seasons had 1 or 2 show-stopping major episodes, but Season 7 has more whoppers in at least over half of the episodes." Whoppers is his words, not mine. It's a pretty interesting article that I'm going to link below. He does state that Westworld is a science fiction show with a Western twist. It was shot on film, which is very rare these days, when he's used to having an HD monitor on set that shows you precisely what you're getting. Film doesn't. He states he does enjoy film due to it being a dying art, but there are drawbacks. Some of the drawbacks include having to frequently reload the cameras. The cameras are a lot more noisy, and you need a lot more light, especially when shooting a Western, and states he had to push film stock to its limits while shooting nighttime scenes. It is an interesting article to see some of this crew crossover between 2 of these Sunday night juggernauts from HBO, and I'll make sure to link it below. So lots of exciting stuff. Looks like Season 7 of Game of Thrones, even though we have to wait. And it looks like we'll be waiting even longer for Season 8, but going to keep it positive. Looks like it's going to have a lot of epic scenes, and from the first trailer, we all know that's true. And Westworld coming back, we're going to have a mix-up with the timeline, some of our favorite characters back, and unfortunately some not returning, which I'll talk about in our next episode. But again, I'm Justin Thomas, and if there's something you guys want me to talk about, any questions or anything, make sure to use hashtag AskJTShow on either Twitter or Facebook. And make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.